What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Saturday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great despite the times that we're living in. If you could please hit that like button, if you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my videos. So what's up? What's up? What's up? It is Saturday. It's a beautiful day. I just wanted to jump on here and say what's up. I feel like it's been a minute. I've had a super busy week. Just had a lot going on, obviously. Hopefully, I can contact somebody today. I might possibly be doing an interview tomorrow. That'd be super dope. And I also would like to have a video up tomorrow. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say what's up. How's everybody doing? And possibly answer some question. Freeze. It's not freezing where I'm at. It's nice. It's Hamilton. What up? What up? Hey, what up, bro? Hope all is good with you too, Mike. So what are you guys up to, man? What's the topic of conversation? Let's speak on prison. Let's speak on addiction. Let's keep it into what's going on in that way, and let's have some conversation, man. Yeah, of course, Banff, and typically you'd think that British Columbia would be a little bit warmer, especially at this time of year, but no, it's still pretty warm here. Um, on and off anyways. It's cold at night, it's cold in the morning, but it's nice during the day. uh it is. Do felonies hold you back in life in Canada like they do in the US? And I would say no, 100% they don't. Now obviously having a record, having anything like that will impact your life regardless, right? But I've seen in the US sometimes they can legally rightfully deny you rental to an apartment or something with a criminal record check, and work is a lot more difficult to get with a criminal record. I think here there's a little bit more opportunity. I think a lot of the time people here can be fairly reasonable. It just depends on what exactly it is you want to do for work. But if you're prepared to work hard and stuff like that, there's a lot of people in Canada I feel will accept somebody with a criminal record if they just look like they're serious about the job. Maybe they look like they're going to be a hard worker. DBC Ash, what's up, man? How's everything with you, brother? For me, I think sometimes it's easy during times like this, uncertain times like this, to be down. But I find it easy to kind of stay focused and positive because I think that with everybody so focused on all the negativity, if you just stay positive, man, there's a lot of opportunity there for you because people are focusing their energy on all the wrong things. So I'm 25. I have a felony and five or so misdemeanors. I feel like my future is over living in the US. I don't think it's over. I think that you have to find the right opportunity now. I think that every decision that we make has consequences, and sometimes those consequences can be detrimental to our future getting to a place maybe where we wanted to get quickly. But there's always a way, man. There's always somebody that'll look at you and see that you look like somebody who's truly motivated. Because, with my record and everything, you would expect that nobody would ever want to hire me. Nobody would ever want to give me a chance, total liability. But when you talk to people, I was in an AA meeting, and that's what led to me getting my job. And I feel like just the way that I was talking, he was able to see that I was being genuine and I was somebody that he wanted to provide an opportunity for. And those things will happen if you live on a positive track. If you do positive things, you treat people with respect, positive things happen for you. It's 100% like what you get, what you give. It just is what it is. KR10, man, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Won't be able to work without getting that, you know what, soon making it mandatory everywhere. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's just leave that alone. High life, man, no problem. And I'm telling you, like, I know sometimes it may feel like that opportunity is not going to happen, but you got to start at the bottom. You know, you can't expect somebody to just take this grand chance with you and pay you a job that's going to give you 100K a year or whatever. You got to start somewhere at the bottom, show your work ethic, get your work reports well, so that you can use somebody as a uh, what's it called, on a resume. You know what I'm talking about. And then build yourself up like that. And those traits, those characteristics, people see that in you if you're serious about working, and you'll be able to keep a job. Like, the one thing about me was I was never lazy. I was always prepared to work. If I was making money, it was just drugs got in the way. But now that I'm not on drugs, like, I've had the same job for a long time because I enjoy working. I enjoy the structure. I enjoy the routine. I feel like it takes up so much of my time. It doesn't leave me with a whole lot of time to mess around. You know what I mean? I feel like the east coast of Canada, Ontario, and more east is easier. Out west is still very American with their way of thinking. If you have a record here, they won't hire. It depends on where out west, though. I know British Columbia has got pretty lax and liberal governments for the most part, and I know a lot of their programs are aimed at rehabilitation a lot more so than even here. But I think that when you're talking about Alberta and stuff like that, I wouldn't really know so much. But it's not that people are going to hire. It's just not every single job is going to ask you for a criminal record check. You have to look, man. And if you, of course, if you want to work in a bank, you want to work for like a cell phone company or something like that, something where you're in sales, where you have to be bondable, you have to handle cash, good luck. But if you're a hard worker and you're prepared to learn a trade or learn some kind of skill, jobs in the trades are okay for guys with a record. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you may have to put some grunt work time in. You have to start at the bottom, making what you don't feel like is enough money for how hard the work will be. But that's also because that's the time where you prove your value. You prove how much knowledge you're soaking up and how much you want to improve and move up in the company. Or if you're somebody who's just going to be happy being stagnant, you know, being late for work all the time and not really wanting to move up. And you'd be surprised, man, if you're working and applying for better jobs at the same time, those opportunities are going to be a lot more than if you weren't. Alberta, man, when I got sentenced, the judge said I'm basing my decision not on rehabilitation, but on avoidance of other people deterrence. Okay, that's crazy. And I don't think that it's all about rehabilitation. If you think about the prison system, I think for the most part, it's not what it's about at all. I think it's about punishment. I think that British Columbia just has a more liberal approach than anywhere else. But I think for the most part, it's not about rehabilitation. They throw in some BS programs just to give the impression that there's rehabilitation, but really they want the statistics to be low. They want the recidivism rates to be high because it keeps them employed. It keeps the parole officers, probation officers, all of these people employed. So at the end of the day, they really don't care if you do better or not. That's just a front. You have to pretty much find the opportunity, find some program where you feel like the people do care and where that opportunity is open up to somebody who may be coming out of the system or whatever. And you got to work towards getting better and show people that progress, man. You'd be surprised how many people would be okay with like hiring somebody who may have had a bad past years ago, but is now shown to be a hard worker, capable, honest guy who's really turned his life around, or girl. And you know, you can change the way people think about you and the way people look at you. It's possible. I'm on schedule from doctor and go down on my dose from every 2 weeks, 9 months left, and I'm done. Mine are like, huh. Well, congrats, Ash. Keep it up, brother. Keep working hard. Keep trying that, and positive things will keep coming. They hand out harsh sentences like candy. I did 30 months for one count of theft over, first time offender. Yeah, that's crazy. But you know, I've experienced harsh sentences as well. I've done a lot of time for break and enters where I'm doing years, right? And most people would do 6 months, 3 months, maybe a year tops. But because of me and my record and the reputation I had in the courts, that's not the case. So I got hammered a couple times, but that's life. When you break the law, sometimes you have to live with those kind of things. Sometimes a judge can be the difference in you getting 7 years, 10 years, or 2 or 3 years. It could be the day you get sentenced on. You just have bad luck with a bad judge who's just not feeling it that day or not feeling your specific case. Something could happen in the cells that forces you to fight or whatever. You never know, right? These things can happen, but at the end of the day, typically, if you sit for a bit, you wait, you get a lawyer, you learn what judges in that court are the best or fairest. You try to line up your court dates to land in front of one of those judges, and typically your lawyer will know what to do if you hire a good lawyer. And even if you got to plead out, you'll get better time. But I know there are certain places that are a lot more harsh with sentences. I think that Newmarket Court, a place where I grew up, a place where I did most of my sentences, is a very harsh court with a very high conviction rate. And it just depends on who you are, man. A lot of the time. D. Diddy, if they don't give you a harsh sentence the first time, they might give you a plea deal. Be careful, though, because if you get in trouble again, they might not give you a plea deal. So if you get hit with some heavy time. That's true. And sometimes what they'll do, even if you get arrested and they have zero evidence, right? And sometimes what they'll do is they'll just offer you like a plea deal, like time served, you go home after a month or whatever, just to get that conviction. And even if you get arrested time after time after time, where if you fought those charges, you could beat them. But because you can't get bail, you'll plead out on these charges. Those convictions will start stacking against you. And then when they finally do get some real evidence against you, bang, they're going to hammer you. It's all about the money here. My court fees are insane. Yeah. And in Canada, like, you can find good legal aid lawyers. You have to know where to look. You have to look for like young up and coming lawyers with a good reputation that are trying to build their reputation. So they're actually going to fight no matter what, if it's legal aid or not. A lot of the time, though, that's not what happens. People get stuck with dump trucks. People's cases get traded. It just happens that way. Sometimes you just get screwed over. It's your lawyer's turn to kind of throw away the freaking client that they have that day. And sometimes that's what it's all about, man. Real me. What's up, man? Shout out to Ottawa. Love to Ottawa, for sure. Met quite a few good people from Ottawa in my days. My lawyer got court ordered to get paid by legal aid. Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, you can find good legal aid lawyers. It is possible, And it's not automatically you use a legal aid lawyer, that lawyer is going to be bad. You just have to do your homework. You have to figure out through the inmate system who's the best lawyer with the best reputation for legal aid. Even if you're just looking for a deal, there's some lawyers that will get you a better plea deal. And then there's some lawyers which are better for fighting at trial. And then there's some lawyers which are better for appeals. Just depends on what you're specifically looking for, how much money you want to spend, if any at all. Sometimes you won't even get accepted for legal aid. I don't know if I would be at this point in my life. I may not be. Hi, life. You already know. Have a good day. Court sometimes can literally just be luck of the draw the day that you're there. And a lot of the time in Canada specifically, they try to drag out the time. Joanne, what's up? They try to drag out the time so much that they just wait out, because provincial here is so much lockdown, constantly locked down for shortage of staff, and the conditions just suck. So people end up just pleading just to get out of there a lot of the time, and it's by design. There's no way that somebody in on a break and enter on a non-weapon bearing robbery or something like that should be sitting for 2 years or a year and a half doing dead time. Should be done within a few months, but they They drag it through the system. The lawyers drag it through the system because they're legal aid and they want to get paid for the case. Hell no, if you make like 20K, I think you're on your own unless they got a court order. Okay. Back to work. Peace. Mr. Thompson, you already know. My lawyer had the best reputation in Calgary. Yeah, see, that can happen. Donnie Brasco, what's up? What's up, everyone? Hope you're all having a great weekend. Send you all love and encouragement. You already know, Joanne. Thank you very much to you two. Loyal subscriber and very good person. So shout out to Joanne. Sucks, but the thing is to stay out of trouble and you won't need any lawyers. Exactly. Don't break the law and you won't need any lawyers. I used to think it was so hard to get through some parole or probation. And this time when I got out, where I was just serious, I just had a different attitude. I wasn't focused on trying to break the law. I wasn't even focused on not trying to break the law. I just knew I wasn't going to. And because I had a different frame of mind and a different attitude, it was real easy for me. Real easy for me. So these guys in Calgary remand center on minor charges for 18 to 20 months before trial. Yeah. It's like that here too, though. It's like that in Ontario. You know what I'm saying? Real me? Okay. Thanks. Yo, Matt is charged with 3 counts. Honestly, you're getting blocked. What the hell? I don't understand. What the hell is going on here? Mr. Anderson, what's up? That's okay. They're blocked. That was a strange situation, wasn't it? I beat a case in Kitchener. That's an easy court. That evidence and just still dismissed. You already know, Mr. Anderson. Appreciate that. I have no idea, real me. That person, Andrew. Whatever, it is what it is. And the other person, whoa. I don't even know who would even ask that question publicly. That's what I mean. Who does say that? I did block the other person as well. That's crazy. Who just comes out and says something like that? I don't understand. I wasn't aware that it was cool to be charged with sexual assault. That's what I mean, Zach. That's facts. And well, I don't know any guys that also have the name Kyra, so I don't get it. It's probably just a troll. Yeah, no, it really does. But you'd be surprised, man, how many people get charged with that crap. And you just don't even know about it, you know? You're in the federal system, an integrated system. Somebody could be standing right across from you, knowing that you loathe them, and look you right in the eyes and lie to you about who they are. Some people feel no way about it. You know? Yeah, I've seen that happen here too, Zach. I've seen guys get beat up over domestics. It just depends on the guys on the block at the time and who it is who's charged with the domestic. You know, it just depends what kind of domestic it is. If it's in the news, a lot of different situations can play a role in that. But a lot of time you just have old school guys on the block that think differently and aren't okay with that, you know? don't want somebody like that living with them. And rather than ask you to leave, they'll just give you a shot in the face. And you see that a lot. Yeah. They'll give fake paperwork for sure. They will, because their job ultimately is to keep that person safe. And if that person's case is so grotesque or so high profile that person's name gets out there or something, and it's Googled, they can find out. They probably even give guys fake names. I'm sure they do it. You know what I mean? I'm sure of it. But yes, they'll definitely give fake paperwork. You can also see feds sometimes put fake paperwork on the block trying to get guys crushed. That stuff happens too. Joanne, appreciate the 20 piece. Thank you very much. Get back to work and have a good weekend. Don't put anything past them in the system, man. I'll tell you, you want to know the weirdest thing? So I remember there was one time I was trying to send some money out to my dad from my account so I could pay for something. And somehow the prison put the money in my dad's account without me ever giving them his bank information. How's that work? Or guards that don't like an inmate. You're right, Donnie Brasco. Like some guards are slimy, man. You'd be surprised. Some guards are slimy. They will send guys to stomp your face in. And it's typically female guards. That's the funny thing. I don't know, man. I don't think he ever put money directly into my prison account through transfer. Guards weren't too smart. They didn't bring newspapers on days he was in the news. Yeah. That stuff happens all the time, There's a lot of guys on ranges that are hiding who they are, what charges they're on. I remember in reception last time I was there, every once in a while, we just wild out, start screaming, acting like we're going to start stomping people if we Google their name and they have sex charges, and people will start ringing the buttons. Boom, boom, boom. And guys are running off the range. And then you see these guys and you're like, oh, yeah, I see it now. Oh, yeah, I see that now. Yeah, he looks like somebody that would do something like that. Surprised we didn't notice that before. But a lot of time what those guys will do is they'll act like they're old school, like innocent old dudes that are on some fraud charges or something. And then they'll try to like play it cool by like gambling with guys and giving them money away, giving canteen to you. Yo, here, man. I had some stuff, somebody left this here. I don't really want it. You want this, those kind of things. Oh man, I got to smoke. You want to smoke, man? Just to kind of throw you off, to make you think that they're cool. And then all of a sudden, bing, you wild out and that button's rang. You see these guys run off the block and you're like, yeah, now I see it. Or what I saw a lot when I was in Joyceville, because Joyceville was basically like a high, medium, max overflow when I was there from 06 to 08 and like 11 to 12. And a lot of time you get guys that would get shipped from Alberta or British Columbia. They get shipped out to Ontario, and you see a lot of the time it's white guys, but not always. But a lot of the time it is. They're just covered in gang tats. They joined some gang when they got to like a medium security prison, and they didn't think that there was actually going to be like any obligations. Like they weren't actually like, you know what I mean? In a gang, it's just a name to be tagged to them. Like it's something cool to say. And then all of a sudden, they live off the life. It's nice. They get to smoke when they want to smoke. They get to get the tobacco and stuff. But then when stuff really pops off and they get into a war or something like that, these guys' true colors exposed, and that's why they get shipped out of province. You're like, hey man, you got family here? No, no, there wasn't beds there. There's always like a story as to why they're here, and they typically don't last very long. My dad was reading a newspaper and seen that the guy in front of him was on for the rape of a lady in the alley, I believe. He smashed that paper on the bubble guard. He said 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, you can see stuff like that happen. And this is the thing. Nobody likes a child attacker or a child sex offender or a rapist. And a lot of the time, if one of those guys lands on the range, it's not by accident. It's usually because they're not high profile enough that there's media coverage, but they're disgusting enough that the guards kind of want to throw them in the block for a bit and get them like the don't kill them but smash them treatment. And it happens. Believe me, it happens. Guys will come on the block and their paperwork will follow them. They'll get smashed around, smashed around, run off the block, checked in, and then they'll put them in PC or in SEG or wherever it is after they've already taken a beating. But sometimes you can get shipped, sometimes it's not necessarily that you have bad charges that you get shipped out of province, because there was a time when I was in Joyceville reception where there was not a ton of beds. There just wasn't, because they had closed Kingston Pen and they had closed Joyceville as population, and it was only reception at that point. So there's a lot less bed space. So sometimes they'd send guys to like Spring Hill in Nova Scotia without them even agreeing to do it, to go there. And sometimes that's just a fact of life. You get classified to where you get classified to. But typically, if there is room in the penitentiaries, that's not going to happen. They're not going to send you far away from anywhere you have family. So, you're just secluded and stuff. Typically, that doesn't happen. You'd be surprised at how accommodating they can be for family interaction. He went down on a bank robbery and he killed a guy in the back, and then he went through the system and rape and murder came up when they sent him out west. There. Huh. Yeah, for sure. Donnie Brasco to send him out west. Because if this is the thing, it's one thing if guys know that a guy who's coming into the jail is a hound or a predator or whatever, they just keep from him, especially if you're somewhere like Fembrook or something like that. But it's a much different situation when somebody lies about who they are. They act like they're cool. They lie completely about their background, and they get in and they become friends with people. And then people find out after about those things. People take that way more personally because you forced me kind of to be around you and to put somebody with your jacket around me, which can ultimately affect my reputation. So a lot of people will take it to a point where they feel like they have to do something to kind of respect their own honor, Yeah. Everyone knows no one likes people who hurt women or children, but what happens to people who are drunk, blackout on drugs? I saw people driving, he looked beat up. See, I was in with him and I never saw him get beat up. But he could have got beat up by the feds. I'm sure that's possible. But it is what it is. Like I just think that a lot of the time those guys will get a pass. Now, I think with Mutso specifically, just because of his money, because the money he has, if he was in higher security prison, he would have been in trouble. He wouldn't have been able to do his time somewhere like the Bay or the Ville when I was there before, or even in like Millhaven or anything like that, or across the country in any high mediums or maxes. He'd get extorted, he'd get beat up and assaulted, because a lot of people don't respect that, for sure. Yeah. Ryu, I got bail, but I'm on house arrest for robbery and forcible confinement. Which prison am I heading to if I lose trial in Canada? I don't know where you are, so I'd have no idea what prison you're headed to. You'd have to tell me which province you're in. and then maybe I could give you a better idea. Now, is that robbery with the firearm? No problem, DJ. No problem. Yeah, he got beat up by the feds for sure, I would think. On the scene, oh yeah, the people would be so mad seeing those kids like that. It depends on if the robbery is with a firearm or not. If it's like a strong arm robbery with bare hands, nobody's hurt, maybe not. But forcible confinement, that's usually a serious charge. So, okay, yeah, so you'd probably go to the Bay. Whether high, medium, or max, I don't know. That would depend on your behavior leading up to you going to the pen. You know, if you got to, you know, if your bail gets pulled, you've never done time before, and you go into provincial for your 15 days before or after you sign your waiver, maybe 3 weeks tops, you might be in provincial. You probably go to the south or something like that, and then from there you'll go to Joyceville, and they'll classify you. Most likely, you'd go to Collins Bay. That would be what I would say. And Collins Bay is not the easiest place to do time, you know, because you definitely wouldn't start in the low medium. You would start in the high medium, and possibly in the max, depending on your behavior. But if your behavior is okay, you'd start in the high medium for sure. You know what I mean? And that would be my guess. I guess you could end up in Warkworth. I don't know what neighborhood you're from. That would matter a lot. I'm 17 on house arrest, waiting for trial on aggravated assault, possibly AM. I'm from Toronto. Which prison do you think I'd do time in? Exactly the same. Collins Bay. Gordon, man, appreciate the 20 spot. Thank you very much. Good work. I appreciate the help you give guys who serve penitentiary years or trying to adjust. I like your old school where CSC gave you your paperwork. I have started CDI college, taking addiction community worker. Well, congrats, bro. Keep it up. Do your thing, man. The prison life's not worth it. There's only one shoe in Canada right now, and that is Saint Anne de Plain in Quebec. Oh yeah, if he's 17. Oh yeah. If you're 17, it depends on if they yeah, because you're not charged as an adult, right? If you're not charged as an adult, yeah, that's my bad. You would start in what's it called? What's the place in Brampton called? I forget what it's called. And then you could end up going somewhere like more like a Brookside or a Sprucedale or a Blue Water, if any of those places still exist. Yeah, so if you're 17, yeah, you're right. I don't know what that place in Brampton's called, that young offender jail. Not Salaps. Okay, if you were there, so you'd go back there. That's where you'd start if you're not charged as an adult. And then from there, you'd most likely go somewhere like Sprucedale, Blue Water, or Brookside, if those places are still open. When I was in phase 2, that's where we went. Okay, so Blue Water's not there. Sprucedale's still open, right? I'm telling you though, Sprucedale's easy time. If you got to do like a couple years at Sprucedale, it'll be easy time. I don't even know if Brookside's still open. You know, these are the things I don't know. Young offender changes all the time, you know. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I just wanted to pop in and say what's up. It's been cool chatting with you guys. I'm going to try and get that interview up tomorrow if I can get in touch with Buddy. If not, I'll definitely be putting up a video tomorrow for sure. We'll see what happens. Jay Parson, what up? What are you saying, man? I'm good. But you guys already know. Smitty, man. You already know. 2014. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Calgary Remand Center. Send me some ads and the information about it. It's so hard to find this stuff. Send to my IG. Peace. New Matt Clark.